Hi everyone, welcome to the DataGen channel. So from today onwards, we are going to start a SQL series where we will cover from basic to advanced topic. We will go and see each and every topic. Okay. And this is my today's class topic. So today's agenda is that first we will see what is data and the types of data, then what is RDBMS, type of RDBMS. We will see about the tables, and then we will see about what is SQL and their commands. So let's start with this. What is data? So first of all, if I will talk about data, what is data? So any information, okay, which will give you some meaning. Okay, so data is information that is collected, stored, and processed to serve some specific purpose. So any information which gives some meaning is called data. A data that is collected, a data that collected, stored, processed to serve a specific purpose. Okay, so any information which give you some meaning, that is called your data. A data that collected, stored, and processed to serve some specific purpose. Okay, so data can exist in various format. It can be your number, text, images, audio, video. Anything is your data. So it is a raw or unorganized fact or figures that can be analyzed to generate some meaningful insight. So why we required this data? So what we will do, we will take this data. These data are unorganized, and we will store this data in some different places. There are different destination is there where we can store the data, and from that data we will draw some meaningful insights. Okay, so that we can understand the business properly. Okay, so in any business, data is very much important. Now let's say if I will give like this raw data like this 23, 47, and 89. What you will understand by this? You won't understand anything. This is just a raw data. Raw data. So right now, if I will give this 23, 47, 89, you won't understand anything until and unless I will give some context here. For example, if I will say that these are the number is the temperature number. Right now, when I added this context temperature, now this data is become meaningful. That now we can say that these are the temperatures. Right now, if I will say like this, 101, 102, 104, 105. Again, this is the raw data. And if I will give this to you, you won't understand anything until and unless I will give here context to it. Now, let's say if I will say these are the customer ID. Now, this data become the meaningful data. The next we will see the format of data. So data can be structured. Data can be structured, organized in row and column format. Data can be unstructured also. Data can be unstructured also. For example, let's say free text, images, videos. These are your unstructured data. Or semi unstructured data. Data can be semi structured data. Semi structured data, like your JSON format. So in JSON file, right, whatever the data is there, those are your semi structured. Or XML. In XML also, whatever the data you will see, so in XML the data will be stored in the tag format. So in JSON, how the data will be stored? For example, let's say here there will be curly braces. Now, if I'm giving here, let's say customer ID colon, let's say 101. Then customer name colon, let's say Akash, comma, then customer phone number XYZ something, okay, XYZ something. Now I'm closing this one. So this is your JSON format data. So in JSON, the data will be stored in this way. Okay. So this is your one record. This is your one record, which will talk about one particular person, that is your Akash. So this one record will give you the complete information of that Akash. What is the customer ID of this Akash? What is the phone number? Here also we can add more detail, like let's say uh, address or Aadhaar card, anything. Same thing if I will give like this. Let's say one, if you store the data like this, 101, okay, then Akash, then XYZ. Then what you will understand by this data? You won't understand this data until and unless you will give some context to each value. So here when I'm saying 101, so this belongs to customer ID. When I'm saying Akash, this is the customer name. When I'm saying XYZ, this is the customer phone number. So here you are, when you are giving the context, then your data will become a meaningful data. Okay. And if you give data like this is the raw data, which will not draw any meaning. So in this format, you will get the data. Data can be structured. Okay. So mostly this data will be structured data will be stored in a tabular format. Okay. You will see the data in this format where this will be your column. Here column will be there C1, C2, C3, and here the data will be stored. Okay. Like this in a row format. So these are your row 1, row 2, row 3, and these are the columns. So in table, the data will be stored in structured format. Then again, if you see, if you have seen that Excel file or CSV file, there also data will stored in the column and row format only. Then again, data can be your unstructured, it can be free text, images, or videos. Then data can be semi-structured, like your JSON file. In XML file, whatever the data are there, those are semi-structured. So in XML, how the data will store? There will be some tag will be there like this. So there will be some parent tag will be there. Then there will be child tag will be there like this. Okay. And here you need to close this one like this. Some data will be there. So in this tag format, the data will be stored. Okay. So these are also semi-structured data. So the next we have types of data. So there are two types of data we have. First, we have qualitative data. Qualitative data. So now what is qualitative data? Qualitative data means a descriptive information. Descriptive information such as names, colors, or opinions. So names can be anyone. It can be customer name, product name, category name, anything. Colors like colors name. Okay, red, green, blue, like that. And the opinion like yes, no, something like that. Then there is we have a quantitative data. So quantitative data is nothing but numerical information. Numerical information. For example, counts, price, number of students, number of students in a class. Okay, so these are the numerical information. So the data which will give you the numerical information is called your quantitative data. And the data which will give you the descriptive information like anybody name, any place name, city name, state name, customer name, colors name, okay, some opinion like yes, no. these are your qualitative data. So qualitative data is nothing but your, like, it will store a categorical type data which contain the alphabetic characters. Okay, so these are the two data types we have. Now the next is why data is important. The answer is decision making. Suppose you are running a retail business, okay, and daily you are doing the transaction. Let's say in your shop, daily customers are coming and they are buying the product, let's say whether offline or online. And for each transaction, you are keeping the information or you are storing the information. So you are, let's say, you are storing the information like this. Let's say this is the tabular format. Okay, so data you are storing in the tabular format means in a structured way. So let's say this is the column. So you are, what are the information you are storing for? Let's say you are storing the customer ID, receipt number, customer name, okay, then product, price, and let's say cost price and the selling price. Okay, and let's say here one, this is the first record. So let's say one transaction happened with the customer ID is 101, or let's say either you can store a customer ID or receipt number. Okay, then let's say receipt number is something like 1 2 3 4 5, then customer name is A, then product is, let's say, mobile, price is, let's say, not this price, let's say not this column, cost price. So when you bought that mobile from what you can say, dealer, so it cost for you, let's say, 12,000, and you sold to the customer in 14,000. Okay, and here the total amount. So let's say total amount is like net profit. So 14,000 minus 1,200, let's say 2,000, like this. Okay, so like this. So this is your columns. Okay, these are the columns. These are the columns. Sometimes will people will say this column name, or sometimes they will say this is. Sometimes people will say column name. Someone will say property. Someone will say attribute. Okay, and this is the first record, one record, or you can say one tuple, or you can say one row. So this is the first record. Now here like this, you are storing the second records of the customer. Then third record. Now daily transaction you are storing in your, let's say, in database or Excel. Like that, you store 1 month data. Now once after storing the 1 month data, now this is your historical data. And now after 1 month, let's say some occasion came, and then based on this data, you need to analyze that which is your topmost customer, that who is doing the regular sale, and because of those customer, total sales you are getting, the maximum sales you are getting, right? So those customer, right, so based on this analysis, what you will do, you will give more discount to their customers. Okay, so that's why data is so much important. So once you will understand your data, you can make more decision, so that you can increase your revenue, you can increase your business. So that's why data is important. And what is rdbms? rdbms rdbms stands for relational database management system. It is a software which allows you to interact with database. A relational database refers to a database that stores data in a structured format using row and column. Using rows and column. Now, what is the here when we are saying RDBMS relational database? Why it is a relational database? So relational because the values within each table are related to each other, are related to each other, and also tables have also relationship between each other. So this is the definition of RDBMS. Stores the your structured database, like we have Oracle. So Oracle is in RDBMS. It is given by the Oracle company. Then we have MySQL. MySQL is also given by the Oracle company only. Then MS SQL Server. MS SQL Server. This is given by the Microsoft company. Then we have something like PostgreSQL. Okay. Then there is something called your Teradata. So these all are the relational database management system which will stores the data in tabular format, which stores and manage the data in tabular format. Tabular format. So when I'm saying tabular format, that means in a structured way. Now we need to understand that why we are saying relational database management system, means why this relational database management system is required. Suppose you have a student information table and you have a table like this. Let's say you have a student ID, then you have a student name. Here you have, let's say, phone number, then course. Okay. Uh, Not course. Let's say class ID, semester, and then title. Okay. Title of that class. And here you are giving information like this. Let's say student ID is 500, 502, 503, 504, 505, like this. And then let's say you have name like Akash, Vinay, Mukesh, Ahan, and Dinesh. Then phone number is, let's say, 123 456 789 127 348. And class ID, let's say you have 1002 1009 110 1005 109. And the semester is, let's say, same 1, same 2, same 3, same 4, same 5. Okay. And the title of that class is, let's say, intro to intro to chemistry. Then data mining, internet and society, physics and maths. Okay. Now, in this table, you have given all the information, a student detail information also, and the class detail also. Okay. Now, tomorrow, let's say, if this Akash student, he dropped from this college. Okay. So now what we will do? We will delete this Akash information from this table. So as soon as we delete this information of the Akash, along with this Akash, the class information will also deleted, because the class information we stored in the same table. So if you keep all the information in single table only, then this will be the problem. If you will delete one information, the other object information will also be deleted. But in real time, it should not be happen like this. Because here what will happen, if I will remove Akash, then class detail will also remove. Then that will be the blunder, right? So to solve this problem, there is something called your relational database management system comes into the picture. Comes into the picture. So in relational database management system, what will happen? All this information, here we stored the multiple information like student details, class ID, and also the title. Okay, title of the class. So all these information we kept in single table only, right? So when we use this relational database management system, then what we will do, a student information we will keep in the student table. Okay, class information we will keep in the class table, and the title information we will keep in the title table. So in that way, what will happen, if I will remove the Akash detail also, then what will happen, class information and the title of the subject information will not be removed, that will be saved in the another table. So if I will convert this data into the relational database management system, okay, so what we can do, we can write like this. Here I will create the student table. This is the student table, and here I will keep ID, then name, phone number. Okay, so here only this information will be there. So here 500, 502, 503, 504, and here name will be, let's say, Akash, Vinay, Mukesh, Ahan. Okay, and here phone number will be 123 456 789 127. So this table contain only the information of a student. Now I will create one more table of the class detail. Class table. Class table. And in this class table, what I will do, I will create three columns. Here I will keep the ID. Okay. This is the student ID. Then here we have the class ID, and here semester. So here I will keep the data, let's say 500, then 501, 501 and 502. And the class ID will be, let's say, 1001, 1009, then 1009, 9, and 1005. And semester is, let's say, same 1, same 2, same 3, and same 4. Now, this ID column will have the relationship with the this ID column of the class table. Now again, I will create another table of the class details. Okay, class details. So class ID, title of the class, and the class number. So class ID will be, let's say, 1001, 1009, 1005, 1006. And here title will be, let's say, intro to chemistry, data mining, and let's say this is physics and this is math. And the class number is, let's say, 2101, 2202, 2303, 2304. Okay. And this class ID have the, and this class ID, okay, this class ID have the relationship with this class ID. So now tomorrow, if I will delete this class details, means not class detail, if I will remove this Akash detail, then my rest of the information, class information, okay, and class subject details, this will be my safe. It here, if I will delete this data, it won't impact in this table, it won't impact in this table. So here, this table have the relationship with class table because of this ID column. And this class information table, like class subject table, have the relationship with this table. So here, this table have relationship with this, and this table having relationship with this. This is called your relational database management system. Okay, I hope you understood, everyone. Okay, so RDBMS, right? So RDBMS, I told earlier that RDBMS is an application which will allow you to connect with the or interact with the database. So RDBMS is your application. Okay, it is an application. It is a, you can consider this one as a bigger container. Okay, this application, this is an application, and this is an your RDBMS. 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 Okay, so this is an application which will allow you to interact with the database. So this, inside this RDBMS, we can create multiple database. Okay, we can create multiple database. Let's say database 1. Here also you can create multiple database. Database 2. Here also you can create multiple database. Database 3. So in this RDBMS, we can create n number of databases. Now inside this database, you can create multiple tables. Okay, multiple tables. You can create multiple tables, and inside this table only we insert the data. Okay, we stores the data, we manage the data inside this table. Here you can also create the views. You can also create the stored procedure. So all these things we will see one by one in our upcoming classes. First we will see on the tables. Okay, then here also you can create multiple tables. Here also you can create multiple tables. Here also you can create multiple views and multiple stored procedures. Okay. Here also you can create multiple tables to store the data, manage the data, multiple tables. You can also create multiple views here, multiple stored procedures. Okay, so first RDBMS, inside RDBMS, you need to create the database. See, without creating the database, you directly cannot create the table in RDBMS. First, you need to create the database, and inside the database, you need to create the multiple tables. And inside this table, you can store your records and manage your records or manage your data. So there are so many RDBMS. I already told there is a Oracle is there, MySQL is there. So these are the RDBMS. Most of the people will think that this MySQL, okay, this MySQL and SQL is both same. No, MySQL and SQL is not same. MySQL is an RDBMS. It is an application. Inside that you can create the database, and inside the database you can create multiple table. And how we can create the table, how we can create the database, for that there is a language is there. That language is called your SQL language, a structured query language. So with the help of this language, we can create the table, we can create the views, we can create the stored procedure, we can create the database. And with the help of this SQL only, we can insert the data into this table, we can delete the data from this table, we can update the data into this table. So this is the language and this is the application. Okay, so inside this MySQL application, we can use this SQL queries. So there are so many RDBMS are there. All these RDBMS support this SQL, structured query language. Okay, so in MySQL, in Oracle, or if you see in Microsoft SQL Server, all are supporting the SQL, but there are little bit changes in the syntax, but each concept wise, everything is same only. Okay. But you will see little bit difference in the syntax wise. And if you go to the SQL server, there is a date function is different. In MySQL, if you will come, there is a date, totally date is different. In Oracle, if you come, then there is a date function is there. That is also a little bit different only. Okay, but rest of the say the concept is same only, and syntax wise little bit change is there. Information of RDBMS. Now we'll see about the tables. Talking about tables, right? So inside the RDBMS, not sorry, not inside RDB, inside the database, we can create the tables. So this is called your tabular format. Okay, so the tabular format look like this. Here you have to create the columns. Okay, multiple column will be there, let's say C1, C2, C3, C4. And this column, sometimes people will say attribute or property or column name, you can say. And here you can store the record, let's say 1A, uh, ABC, and then let's say some city name, let's say Bangalore. Okay, then second record you are storing 2B, CDA, Pune. Okay, so this is your one record. This is your one record or one row, or sometimes people will say one tuple. And these are the columns. These are the columns. So in table, the data will be stored in this tabular format. Means tabular format means row, row, and the columns. Okay, row and the columns. This is about the table. Now, in the next class, we will see what is SQL. Okay, we will see the complete information of SQL. As of now, just understand this SQL is a structured query language. A structured query language. And this query language is supported in all the RDBMS. Okay, and this with the help of this SQL, we can do multiple things. We can create the table. We can create the table. We can create the views, we can create the stored procedure. Okay, we can drop the table, we can drop the views, we can drop the stored procedure, we can alter the table, we can insert the record in the table, delete the records from table, update the records in the table, extract the record or fetch the record from table. So with the help of SQL, all these things we can do. Okay, and each and everything we will see in the next class. Okay, so till then, goodbye, and please take care. And one more thing, please share this video with your friends, colleagues, and cousin, anything, okay, family member. And please subscribe, and please comment if you have any question. Whenever I will get the time, I will give your questions answers. Okay, so thank you.